Hey John, wanted to just send you a quick video to answer your question relative to, I think the gap that you were talking about was like right here, the gap between the bumper and the back of the vehicle. The reason that is there is because the bumper is attached to the frame with this bolt right here, and the frame sticks out about 2 or 3 inches from the back of the vehicle. And the reason that that does that is because right next to the frame, this black box right here, this is the gas tank. And so by having the bumper, offset from the back of the vehicle by about, 4 or 5 inches, that helps protect you in the unlikely scenario of an impact. Your bumper will not or should not go up into your gas tank. So that'd be bad. So anyway, that's kind of the nature of just the way that the vehicle is built. This is the classic, just kind of basic bumper that they these Broncos came with back in the day. If you wanted to do like an aftermarket bumper, they do have those, and in those aftermarket bumpers do hide that gap if that's something that kind of bothers you or annoys you. You can easily add on an aftermarket bumper. The backup camera that comes on in the rearview mirror is right here. See that? So right above the license plate. I'll wipe that off there. So the backup camera will automatically come on when you put it in reverse, and you'll see it up in the rearview mirror. If you want to open the tailgate, it's this latch right here. You can't open the tailgate unless you undo the back portion of the top. So just pull this portion out right here, and then you'll pull the, undo the back of the top from the little lip that it's attached to right there. And then you can then, once you pull this out, you can open the back of the trunk. So just keep that in mind when you have the top on. The trunk is the back trunk is sort of inoperable in terms of opening it. What else? The thing you want to look for with these old Broncos is you essentially want to look at like the seams, like wherever the like a fender meets the back door, or wherever a fender meets the driver's or passenger side door. You just want to make sure that it's flush. The front fender as well. So if you look at some of these old Broncos, like go look up close, you'll see that a lot of times some of these seams will look sort of like that. So if you have a seam that's offset, that's usually a sign of a body that's not completely straight. And then and the builder wasn't able to work that Bronco sort of back into original shape to get everything lined up properly. So you don't really have to worry about that with this one. Everything's nice and flush and pretty perfect. When you open the doors, the steps automatically open. You can see there's a light that comes on when those things open up. Those are great. It's easy to get in with those. They're also great because with the top on, it makes the doors pretty tight. So like when the top is off, these doors are super easy to close. But when you have the top on, everything's like nice and snug. So you actually gotta put a little bit of effort into shutting the door. And if you don't shut the door fully, you can see that the step stays down. So that's kind of your indicator that like you didn't really get the door completely shut all the way. If I set that a little bit harder, the step goes up, and that's your indication that the door is shut, really nice. And then I'll point out that because these things are this is a 60-year-old vehicle, and it's just made out of solid steel, right? So it's not fiberglass or you know, some composite kind of component of stuff that our vehicles are built out of today. So anywhere that you get two of these, you know, components that rub together, you're gonna get some degradation in the paint. So like you can see this little spot right here. That's because the door, when you have the top on, constantly rubs up against that frame right there. And the same thing up at the top of the window, the door frame right here. It's not a defect. It's not, you know, there's nothing wrong with the Bronco. It's just the nature of the fact that these are, you know, really old vehicles and they're made out of steel. And this little section right here, you know, for the life of this vehicle has been rubbing against the frame that you use to keep the top on. And so as that happens, you're going to get some degradation in the paint. It's been like this literally since, you know, the second or third day that I've had it. Like, it just is what it is. And that's one of the things you got to come to terms with these old vehicles is, you know, they are, you know, super old. You know, this is more than half a century old. So it's sort of weird to, you know, pay $100 for a vehicle that has, you know, like minor paint defects like that. But it's just sort of the nature of these vehicles. Like there's always a little something that that's rubbing or rattling or needs to be tightened a little bit, or, you know, something of that nature. And so it's just kind of the price you pay to, you know, to have such a cool ride, man. So anyway, that's just something that like you'll get used to as you kind of spend more time with it. You'll start to kind of figure out just the things that every so often you want to just keep an eye on certain things and kind of tighten a screw here or there, you know, keep an eye on things like that. So other than that, I mean, the vehicle is perfect, man. It drives great. I took it out for one last drive tonight and it was awesome. I'll point out a couple things real quick. You asked about where the heated seats were. There's a button right here, and push it back to turn the seat heater on high, and you push it down to put it on medium. When the vehicle's turned on, there's a light that comes on when you turn that on. The stereo is sort of inside this thing right here. It's Bluetooth, easy to connect to. This is your glove compartment. There's some manuals in there for the radio and the transmission and some stickers from the Hella Bad Bronco guys. I'm gonna lock this up before it goes on to the shipping truck. There's a key that's included that allows you to lock that up, and I'm gonna lock it up before we ship it. What else do I point out here? Four-wheel drive is right here. To engage the four-wheel drive, this thing is always in 2 high. If you want to put it in 4 high or 4 low, you got to put the vehicle in neutral, and then, you know, really put some elbow action and kind of strength in the pulling this all the way down, and that will put it in 4-wheel high, and then shift the vehicle back into drive. So you can't shift into 4-wheel drive like while you're driving. You have to stop, put the vehicle in neutral, shift into 4-wheel drive, and then you're good to go. It does have manual locking hubs, so you want to lock the hubs, you got to get out and kind of turn there's a little section that you turn on each hub to lock the hubs. I'll show you that. It's right here. So put it in 4-wheel drive, and then if you don't lock the hubs, you just turn this. See how I just, oh shoot, sorry, not good at videoing. You can see how I can turn that. Right now I have them unlocked. You don't really want to lock those unless you put it in a 4-wheel drive, but just know that they're manual. Front of the vehicle, you can see the bumper in the front's the same. Attached to the frame sticks out a few inches from the front of the vehicle. So, the hood, all right, took me a minute to figure this one out. So there are 2 latches for the hood. First one is right here. Where am I? It's right below the R on your lettering. You kind of pop that, And then once you pop that, see if I can pop that and hold the phone at the same time. I think I need 2 hands, but anyway, so you would essentially pop that, and then once you pop that, you can lift the hood a little bit, and then when you lift the hood, there's another latch right here, and so you just kind of put your finger on that latch and pop that latch, and then that allows you to open the hood completely. Okay, this little latch right here. There's the engine. It's in great shape. Okay. I don't know, man. I think that's it. So I've got it all teed up and ready to go, man. Sorry for the long video, but hopefully that answers a few questions for you. And talk to you soon. See you, buddy.